Question: how much is your wife involved in your startups? What advice would you give to others on how to be a good spouse while also being married to your business? Oh boy, story of my life right now. So I have an amazing wife. We've known each other for 12 years, so she's been through pretty much all of this with me. Um, she's Here's how she's very involved. She's very involved because she keeps me balanced. It's easy to do nothing but run hard with startups. It's easy to contribute all of your time and all of your energy in your entire life. People talk about startup balance. In general, I don't think it exists. I've been at this for 20 years solid, doing nothing but startups nonstop, 7 days a week for 20 years. And I can tell you this, when I had no other commitments, now I have a daughter and my wife, when I had no other commitments, every waking hour of my life was committed to a startup. When I was starting Blue Diesel, the ad agency I started when I was 19, I didn't celebrate Christmas for 3 years. I didn't see my family for 3 years. I worked Monday through Sunday without a day off, every waking hour. And you know what? I loved it. I wasn't in a place where I was like, oh my God, this is terrible work. It's awful. For me, this was the first time in my life that I actually had something that I was so passionate about, you couldn't tear me away. And that's a very different place to be. Now, it's very different because now when I get up to leave from work, there's actually a cost to it. Now, okay, I'm walking away from work and I'm not getting the hours put in, but if I don't get to have dinner with my family. Whereas before, I could just work as many hours as possible, and that had something to do with my youth. But now there's a real consequence. And you know what? I don't want to be a bad dad. It's something that's really important to me. And as we've pulled in all the other co-founders and all the other management team here, we've all agreed, in part because we've all become fathers in the last couple of years, that we want to be great workers and we want to work really hard at what we're doing, but we also want to be fantastic fathers. And so I think we've all embraced the fact that we can balance a little bit of work and a little bit of home life at the same time. My wife is the person that makes all that happen. She's incredibly supportive of me as an entrepreneur. And without that, I don't know how I'd have made it through most of this. When we talk about folks coming on here and going through the startup game, one of the first questions I ask is, how will your spouse take it? Because in many cases, it's not just how hard you have to work here, it's kind of what you bring home with you when you are working hard here. And if a spouse isn't supportive, it breaks 100% of the time. You can't fight two wars at the same time. And again, my wife has been absolutely fantastic through the whole process. I'm not just saying that because she's going to be watching this at some point. She's famous around the office for just being incredibly supportive and a big reason why I can do what I'm doing.